What are the 5 types of tax identification numbers? Hey everybody, it's Shamika. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. I appreciate your support. Also, please hit that notification bell so that you can be kept current with my most updated videos. So, about a week or two ago, I did a video on a CPN and I got a lot of feedback, and a lot of people were disagreeing with me stating that a CPN is completely legal. Yet no one has provided any documentation from any federal agency to prove that. And now I am going to discuss the five types of tax identification numbers that are out there for you, okay? A lot of you probably never heard of some of these, but these are the only 10s, and when I say 10, I mean TIN. That stands for tax identification number. That these are the only 5 10s that the IRS will accept. Okay, so let's start with number 1. Number 1 is the SSN. We all know that to be our social security number. We need that for everything, especially if you are a U.S. citizen. You have to have one. You can't file taxes without it. You can't open up a bank account. You can't get any type of benefit. Nothing without the SSN. Most of you, unless you're a foreign individual, you should have one of these. I don't need to go into much detail about that, but SSN is your number 1 10 that the IRS takes, okay? Number 2, that would be your I10, okay? And that's ITIN, and that is for individuals who are foreign. They're not citizens and they do not have a social security number, so they usually get a I10, okay? And the I10 stands for identification tax. Excuse me. I think it's like international tax identification number, excuse me. These have to be refiled or reapplied for every single year. You need these I10 numbers if you want to file taxes if you're living here in the United States. You cannot do earned income tax credit if you have an I10. That only can be done with an SSN. A lot of people did not know that, but you know that now. Normally, most of the I10s are given to individuals who come over here for a certain amount of time and they work and they want to file taxes because they earned money here in the US and they use an I10 to do that, okay? Now, I10s are not issued to businesses. They're only issued to individuals. Just in case you guys didn't know that, all right? The third tax identification number is your EIN. And most of you know what an EIN is. That is your employee identification number. That number is used, of course, for businesses who want to separate themselves from their individual self when they're filing their business taxes. You need them if you are trying to get business credit. You guys should already know from my other videos, you absolutely have to have an EIN. You need it for a bank account. You'll also need an EIN if you're a foreign individual and you want to open up a company here in the US. You would need an EIN. You are allowed to get an EIN. In case you did not know that, you are. You can get an EIN without your SSN, but the only way you can do that is you have to fill out the paper copy of the SS4, which is the IRS application form for a EIN. So a EIN, most people can have an SSN and an EIN, but you can also get your EIN without using your SSN if you use the form SS4, okay? So that is the third type. So we went over SSN, an I10, and an EIN, and we're going to do the last 2. And number 4 is an A10, and that's A like Apple. 10 and an A10 is nothing but a temporary tax identification number that you would use if you are trying, or if you are in the process of adopting someone, whether they're a U.S. citizen or they're foreign, and say you, for example, you don't have their information. If they're a citizen and you don't have their social for whatever reason that may be, you are allowed to apply for an A10 so that you can claim that individual on your taxes, okay? And if you are adopting someone that's from a foreign country and they haven't gotten their SSN, or they don't have an I10, you would also use the A10 to apply, to apply for your regular income taxes, and to be able to claim that child when you are filing your taxes, okay? And then last but not least is P10, okay? And P10 is a preparer tax identification number. And if you are, and I'm sure a majority of people did not know this, if you are an individual who files taxes for people, okay, and you get paid, if you are a paid tax preparer, you have to, okay, this is new, you have to have a P10, okay? You can get your P10 easily from the IRS. All you have to do is go to their website. It's completely free. You can apply for it and you will get it immediately, just the same as you would do if you got an EIN and you apply for it online. You would get it immediately. Now, if you're a paid tax preparer, okay, at the end of the tax forms, at the end, it usually asks who helped you do these forms, and it's usually someone else's name, their phone number, maybe whatever business they represent. You are supposed to have a P10. Now, the only way you can get around that is if you are doing individuals' taxes, like in TurboTax and some of those, in free tax. If you're doing someone's taxes for them in a system that they set up where they have their own login information, you don't have to have a P10 because it doesn't ask that, because the system assumes you are that individual that is actually filing those taxes. But if you are using some type of program where someone had to provide an EFIN to be able to allow you to use that software, if you're working for someone who has a tax company, you, the individual who is preparing that taxes, you should have a P10. And if you are a tax office business owner and you have individuals who work under you and they're using your EFIN, you should make sure that they have a P10 because they are actually preparing it and they're getting paid for it. So by law, and you want to be able to be as compliant with IRS laws as possible, you would want to make sure that you give them a P10, okay? So I'm just going to run through these again. There is a SSN, an I10, an EFIN, A10, and a P10, okay? All of these you can apply for right through the IRS. Generally, the only ones you should be really concerned with is the SSN, the EIN, and depending on your situation, if you're a tax preparer of the P10, the A10 and the I10 is for international foreign individuals, or if someone's adopting someone, so you don't have to worry about those on a daily basis, okay? But as you can see, all of those tax identification numbers, not one was a CPN, okay? And none of those 5 that I named can be translated or turned or flipped into usage of a CPN, okay? So I'm making this video because, again, a lot of people were saying that CPNs are legal, and I'm showing you proof. This is from the IRS website. I will put the link below so that you can see the 5 types of tax identification numbers. CPN is not one, but again, they are SSN, EIN, I10, A10, P10. All right, so I hope you guys learned something new. Please, again, subscribe, share, and again, comment below. Tell me which ones do you have. I'm sure you probably have an SSN, but did you know about the P10, the A10, the I10? I'm sure you know about the EFIN, but give me your feedback. Tell me which one did you not know about that you were surprised to hear about, and are you going to be applying for any in the future? All right. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.